My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. What I have here is a tent that you all have been asking for a long time. This is the 3FUL Lanshan Pro 1 tent. I have received so many emails, so many comments about this that I figured, hey, it is time to check this out. It is time to review this product. This is a one-person tent. Check this thing out, everyone. Look at how small that is. This is a trekking pole tent. You have to have a trekking pole to set this up. If you were to compress this, it would be about the size of a Nalgene bottle. I just got this in, folks, and I'm excited to begin testing this out. Now, before I begin testing it out, first I want to do a preview. Then we have to seam seal this tent, because with this tent, it's not seam sealed. So that's something that we need to do. Then I want to waterproof test this tent. Now, this comes from the Chinese company 3FUL Gear. They've been around for about 10 years, and since that point in time, their reputation has grown to be rather positive. I have yet to hear of a single negative in regards to this company and their products. I've received quite a few emails over the years, people asking, hey, how come you haven't reviewed their products? That is a great question, and the answer is simple. Too many tents, too little time. But now is the time, everyone. It is time to check this out. It's time to test it out and review it. To start off, everyone, let's take a look at this product. So you have the storage bag, you have two compression straps, one on each side. You have a roll top. And here is the tent. So this looks to be a strap to tie up the tent with, and it was undone. No big deal. Here's the guy lines. You have 3 of those. Here are the tent stakes. You have 9 of these. These are made from aluminum. And also a repair kit and a syringe for seam sealing. Trust me, folks, for the seam sealing process, you will want this and something else. I'll talk about that in just a minute. There's the patch material. Now let's go ahead and spread out the body and take a look at it. The fly and the body are connected. This is a single wall tent. The tent features 1 door, 1 vestibule, and is a pyramid style shelter. With this tent, I also ordered their ultralight pole. I will talk more about this in just a minute. It is extremely impressive, folks. As you all can see, the tent has been set up. Again, this is a single wall tent. Now, there is a double wall version. If you get the regular Lanshan 1 or 2, that's double wall. This is single wall. What do I mean by that? A single wall tent doesn't feature an independent inner. You have the fly, the inner's connected, there's nothing separating the two. Whereas with a double wall tent, the inner is separate. The benefits of a single wall tent is that it's lighter weight because you need less material. There are additional pros and cons when it comes to single wall versus double wall, but that's for a different video. For now, let's simply walk around the Lanshan Pro 1. Right here you have a vent. Here's the door. You can see how this line attaches to the tent, goes down to the stake, then it connects to the door. You can see this hook that connects to the door, so if you want to open this, you disconnect here and unzip. You have a storm flap that goes up. It has some Velcro. This entire area has been reinforced, and so has the top here. On the inside, that's where the pole's at. You have tie-off points for the door, 1 on each side. You can roll this back and tie it off. You have a reinforced section here for a guy line. Going to the back of the tent, additional guy line point. And going to the other side, you have the additional guy line point. With the door pulled back, you can see the inside of the tent. Let me show you more about the single wall tent. So here's the fly. It connects directly to this mesh. There really is no inner. You just have this mesh wall. The pole goes up there. Down at the bottom, the body connects to the pole and pulls it out. With the door, it has 2-way zippers, so it can be opened from either the bottom or from the top. On the inside of the tent, you have a pocket at the head, you have a hook at the top, you have a bathtub floor, and the seams for the floor, they are taped. But that's not the case with the fly itself. I'm sure you're wondering why this tent hasn't been seam sealed. With the Lanshan 1 and 2, the non-pro version, it is seam sealed. With the pro versions, they're not seam sealed, and this is why. The pro versions of this tent feature sil nylon, which is a nylon that has been impregnated with silicone. Seam taping sil nylon is extremely complicated and oftentimes simply doesn't work. That's why you have to seam seal this tent. So if you plan to buy this, you have to set it up and you have to seam seal it. Now, luckily, seam sealing's not that hard. Some people really hate it, they want to avoid it, but I can tell you this, if you follow my method, it makes it super simple, and it's even kind of fun. Check out the description box down below for a link to a tutorial. Since we're talking about materials, let's continue. This tent features YKK zippers. The fly is a 20D sil nylon that features a 2000mm hydrostatic head rating. It features a 20 denier nylon mesh and a 20 denier nylon floor that features a 6000mm hydrostatic head rating. As far as the size goes, for a one person, this is impressive. You're looking at a tent that is 90 inches long. It is 31 inches wide, and it is 49 inches tall. When it comes to the stored dimensions, you're looking at 13.5 inches long, and it is 5.9 inches wide. Now again, if you compress that, it's even smaller. In addition to the YKK zippers, the tent features Duraflex buckles, which are very good quality. The weight of this tent is 1 pound 8 ounces. That's very impressive. The pole, that is made from carbon fiber and titanium, 4.6 ounces. That is the lightest weight pole I've ever seen. I mean, it absolutely is. Definitely the lightest weight trekking pole I've ever gone hands-on with. The price of that is right at 40 bucks, and I am impressed with the quality of that. How will it hold up as far as durability goes? We will find out soon enough. Talking about the different versions of the Lanshan, there's a one person, a two person, then there's the Pro models, 1 and 2 persons. The Pro versions of these tents are larger than the regular versions. They're taller, wider, and longer. So if you're above 5'10", the Pro version is definitely what you want. When comparing the Pro to the regular versions, this is a sil nylon, which is nylon that's been impregnated with silicone. The regular version features nylon that's been treated with silicone. There is a difference between the two. The sil nylon material with the Pro version is much stronger than the regular. And also, the sil nylon doesn't age as fast. With all of that being said, a big pro to the regular version, it is seam sealed. So if you don't want to go through the hassle of seam sealing, that is the tent for you if you can get the measurements, the dimensions to work for you. Also, when it comes to the nylon that's been PU coated with the regular version, it is more waterproof than the sil nylon version. So again, folks, there are pros and cons, things that you have to consider when it comes to the different versions of this tent. Going inside of this tent, everyone, without a doubt, there's a ton of space in here. The roof, the ceiling here is very high, it's very wide, and also it is very long. You have this hook at the top so you can hang items, right? Very small pocket up at the head. I'm not sure how useful that really is. You could fit an extra long pad in here, no problem. Extra wide as well. You can see all of the mesh here. You also have mesh that goes around the body, and that does surround you. The larger you are, the more difficult that's going to be because this opening here isn't all that big. Now, my friends, let's talk about my impressions of this tent so far. Now, so far, I like what I see here. I don't see any glaring issues. I don't see any glaring problems. Overall, the quality is very good. I would say it's not like top tier, but it's very, very good. I don't see any loose threads or anything like that, but I did notice with the guideline points, the cutting of those out is rather sloppy, so it's not even all the way around. And you can see in this picture what I'm talking about. Talking about the setup process for a second, it's not that complicated, but it does take a little bit of work to get the right pitch. That is going to come in time as you set up and use the tent. Talking about the setup process for a second, once you do have it set up, it does feature a good pitch. You can see here just how sharp those lines are. And that's for the sides and also the back and the front. What that means is this: when you're inside of this, the walls aren't draping in upon you. It's a good sharp pitch. The amount of space inside of this tent is very impressive for a one person. There is a ton of space for not only yourself, your pad, your sleeping bag, but your gear as well. There's enough space in here maybe for a small dog, depending on the size of your sleeping pad. Overall, size-wise, very impressive. Next up, everyone, I appreciate the fact that all of the main points are reinforced. Next up, my friends, the color of this tent is absolutely awesome. This brown color looks so good. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, this tent is available in 3 colors, I believe. There's the brown, and I think there's a gray and something else. I'll flash it on the screen for you. Now let's talk about something that isn't that great, and that is the ordering process for this tent. When you go to the 3FUL website, you go to the page for this. It is slightly confusing. There's not a lot of information there. So when you look at the options to buy this tent, you can get this as a 3-season tent or a 4-season tent. The company doesn't really state what that means, but luckily I'm here to tell you. If you get the 3-season version, it features mesh walls. If you get the 4th season version, it features fabric walls. You do not want the fabric version, the 4-season version, for summertime use. You want mesh. You want as much airflow as possible. The fabric walls, the 4th season version, that is for wintertime cold weather use only. Only. That fabric is designed to block wind, to limit airflow, and to hold in heat. Basically, everything that you do not want in the summertime. Also, when it comes to the amount of pictures on the website, very limited. I believe there's only like 4 or 5 pictures. That's not enough. In my opinion, the company needs to explain in more detail the differences between the 3-season version, the 4th-season, and it needs to show the different colors that are available. Now, you can also purchase this tent on AliExpress. Again, that's kind of a mess as well. These are all Chinese companies, but I've always found AliExpress to be somewhat confusing. With that being said, I've only ordered from that website, AliExpress, maybe once or twice. Everything's gone well, but when you type in something, when you go to find something, if you type in Lanshan Pro 1, you are going to find like 4 or 5, maybe 6, 7, 10 different listings for that tent. And the prices are going to vary for each one. It is just a little bit confusing. Now, I'm sure there's someone out there who has it all figured out, but for myself, who's rather inexperienced, it's kind of a mess. Anyways, now I do have questions here. My biggest question is this: condensation, airflow. I will have to seam seal this, and that's coming up in the future. I plan to do a video on that and show you all step by step how to do it. If you don't want to wait, check out the description box for the video that I linked to. The process that I've developed over the years is so simple. You don't make a huge mess. The job is perfect. It looks great. If you're not careful when it comes to seam sealing, you can make the biggest mess of all time. Make sure to watch the channel because that episode will be coming up very soon. Trust me, folks, it's not that bad if you know what you're doing. Let's see, once it is seam sealed, then I'm going to waterproof test this tent. At the same time, testing this for airflow, condensation, ventilation, that's going to be very, very important. When it comes to single wall tents, they do perform worse than double wall tents as far as condensation goes. And that's because the inside wall is inside of your tent. So any moisture that's developing, it's right there with you. There's no separation. With a double wall tent, you have that mesh, and oftentimes that mesh will block condensation from falling into the tent. Check this out, everyone. 4.6 ounces. It is available in 3 different sizes. It's so lightweight that you're kind of concerned about it. But again, excellent materials. Carbon fiber, titanium, tungsten. You have some foam at the top. Yeah, that is very, very impressive. It really is. That's a marvel, truly, because this is carbon fiber. That's titanium. And this costs only $40. That's awesome. All right, everyone, that pretty much wraps it up. That is the Lanshan Pro 1 tent. I'm looking forward to seam sealing this and getting it out and using it. What do you all think about this company? I know that this is a company that has been on many people's radars. I hear from viewers all the time, individuals who have been waiting for me to get in one of these products and to test it out agenda-free. That's what this channel is all about. I share my thoughts, feelings, and there's no agenda behind what I share. I'm not trying to sell products. I don't care if you buy this. I'm here to help out. And that's it. If you have a product that you would like for me to test out, comment down below or shoot me an email. I may be able to do it. Before you go, hit the thumbs up because it does help the channel. You can support the Outdoor Gear Review on YouTube or on Patreon. You can join the Wolf Pack. It is appreciated. Everyone, see ya. Strength and honor.